Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. You think you've got a pretty good handle on how the world works, right? You stop at red lights. You don't cut in line. Simple stuff. But what if I told you there are laws so bizarre out there right now, they make you question everything? Rules that sound like they were written during a fever dream. These are actual, enforceable laws that could get you into real trouble. You are not going to believe some of these. Today we're diving into a countdown of the most unbelievable laws from around the globe. Get ready. We've got absolute gems, strange laws that will make you scratch your head, weird facts you'll be telling all your friends, unbelievable laws that sound like a comedy sketch. All right, let's kick things off with number 10, and we're heading over to Singapore. Now, I like a good piece of gum, you know? A little spearmint, maybe some Big Red if I'm feeling spicy. It's refreshing. But if you're planning a trip to Singapore, you might want to leave your pack of Trident at home. Because there, it is illegal to import and sell chewing gum. The story goes, they got tired of people sticking their used gum on, well, everything. Subway train doors, mailboxes, sidewalks, you name it. So they just banned it. Now you can get a prescription for therapeutic or dental gum. But can you imagine going to the doctor for that? Doc, I need my fix of juicy fruit. Getting caught selling gum can land you a massive fine, up to $100,000 or even jail time. Coming in at number 9, we have a law that is just, you can't make this stuff up. We're going to Poland, a beautiful country. But in some of their playgrounds, one of the most beloved characters in children's literature is considered persona non grata. And who is this controversial figure? This rebel? It's Winnie the Pooh. Well, the issue, according to some local officials in a town called Tussin, is his lack of pants. I'm not kidding. They argued that because Pooh Bear is only wearing that little red t-shirt and nothing else, he is immodestly dressed and therefore a bad influence on children. They even called him a hermaphrodite. Come on, he's a bear, a fictional bear. So in those specific playgrounds, Pooh is banned. Sorry, Pooh Bear, but it seems in Poland it's no pants, no service. Christopher Robin, you gotta get your friends some trousers. Okay, this next one, number 8 on our list. Husbands, partners, everyone in a relationship, you need to listen very, very closely. This might be the most important thing you hear all day. We're jetting off to the beautiful island nation of Samoa. It's a paradise. Palm trees, blue water. It also has a law that could save your marriage or get you in trouble with the police. In Samoa, it is literally against the law for a husband to forget his wife's birthday. I am 100% serious. This isn't just about ending up on the couch for a week. No, no, no. Forgetting that special day is an actual punishable offense. Imagine that phone call. Hello, police? I'd like to report a crime. My husband, he forgot. Now, the details on the punishment are a little fuzzy, but the fact that this law exists is just incredible. It takes the pressure to a whole new level. So men of Samoa, set those calendar reminders. Set 3 of them. Your freedom might depend on it. Get ready for number 7 because we're entering a whole new dimension of strange. This one deals with life, death, and bureaucracy. In China, there's a law that directly affects Tibetan Buddhist monks and one of their most sacred beliefs, reincarnation. You would think that's a pretty personal, spiritual matter, right? Something between you and the cosmos. Well, not according to the Chinese government. They want to be involved. Since 2007, there's been an official rule stating that all reincarnations of tulkus, or living Buddhas, must get government approval. You read that right. Monks are not allowed to reincarnate without submitting an application and getting a permit from the state. How does that even work? Do you fill out a form in triplicate before you go? Reason for reincarnation: unfinished business. It's a deeply political move, of course, aimed at controlling the succession of figures like the Dalai Lama. But just think about it from a practical standpoint. Needing government permission for your next life. That is next-level red tape. All right, at number 6, we have a law for all the fashionistas out there. Picture this. You're on your dream vacation in Greece. You're ready to see the Acropolis, the Parthenon. You want to look good for the pictures, right? You've got the perfect outfit, the perfect sunglasses, your favorite pair of fabulous high heels. Well, you better think again. In Greece, it's illegal to wear high heels at many of its ancient archaeological sites. Yes, the fashion police are real, and they're protecting history. The reason is actually pretty smart. The sharp, pointy ends of stilettos and other high heels exert a ton of pressure on the ground. Over time, thousands of tourists clicking around in heels would damage the delicate surfaces of these priceless, thousands of years old monuments. They're trying to preserve the sites from being pockmarked into oblivion. So, when you're packing for Athens, leave the Louboutins at home and opt for some comfy flats or sneakers. Your feet will thank you, and so will a couple of millennia of Greek history. Coming in at number 5 is a law that might make you a little uncomfortable, especially after a late-night burrito. We're heading to the famously orderly and quiet country of Switzerland. They like their peace and quiet. A lot. So much so that in many apartment buildings, it is considered illegal to flush your toilet after 10 p.m. No, you did not mishear me. If you live in one of these buildings, you have to follow the rule. If it's yellow, let it mellow until morning. The idea is that the sound of a flushing toilet could disturb the neighbors who are trying to sleep. It's all part of what they call quiet hours. It also applies to things like taking a shower, running a loud dishwasher. Can you imagine? You wake up in the middle of the night, you gotta go, and you have to make a choice. Do I risk waking up my neighbor, Herr Schmidt, and face his wrath in the morning, or do I just wait? It brings a whole new meaning to holding it. Talk about a quiet night in. For our number 4 spot, we're off to one of the most romantic cities in the world, Venice, Italy. You've seen the pictures, right? The canals, the gondolas, the famous St. Mark's Square, usually filled with hundreds, if not thousands, of pigeons. For decades, a classic tourist photo involved buying a bag of seeds, letting the birds land all over you. Well, those days are over. In Venice, it is now illegal to feed the pigeons. The city got fed up. The massive pigeon population was causing a lot of problems. First, their droppings were corroding and staining the beautiful historic statues and buildings. Cleaning it up was costing a fortune. Second, the birds were getting aggressive and becoming a public health concern. So the city cracked down. If you're caught giving those feathered friends a snack in St. Mark's Square, you could face a fine of up to 700 euros. So enjoy the view, but keep your breadsticks to yourself. The pigeons of Venice are officially on a diet. Okay, we've reached number 3, and this one is wild. We're back in Italy, the fashion capital of Milan. Not about what you wear, the expression on your face. Milan has an old city regulation reportedly still on the books. Smile at all times. You have to smile, it's the law. You can't just walk around grumpy. There are exceptions. At funerals, visiting someone in the hospital, which is good, I guess. Sorry for your loss. But could you do it with a little more jazz hands? Otherwise, show off those pearly whites. The law dates back to the Austro-Hungarian Empire to promote the city's image. Not sure how strictly it's enforced, but imagine getting a ticket for frowning. At number 2, we're hitting the road and heading to Germany, home of the legendary Autobahn. For car lovers, it's a dream come true. Long stretches of highway with no federally mandated speed limit. You can really open it up. But with great speed comes great responsibility. And one of those responsibilities is making sure you don't run out of gas. Because on the Autobahn, running out of fuel is illegal. You might think that's a bit harsh, but it's all about safety. Stopping on a high-speed highway for any reason is incredibly dangerous, and running out of gas is considered a preventable mistake. It's seen as your own negligence. So if your car sputters to a halt, you're not just stranded, you're a lawbreaker. You can get a fine, points on your license, a whole lot of angry looks from German drivers speeding past you at 150 miles per hour. So the moral of the story is, if you're going to drive on the Autobahn, check your speed, check your mirrors, and for the love of all that is holy, check your fuel gauge. And here we are at number 1. The most unbelievable, strange, and hilariously specific law on our list. For this, we go to the United Kingdom, a place steeped in tradition and history, and this law comes directly from that history. It is illegal to wear a suit of armor in the Houses of Parliament. I'll say it again. You cannot by law enter Parliament while wearing a full suit of armor. This has been a rule since the statute forbidding bearing of armor was passed in 1313. It was enacted because nobles were showing up to argue politics fully armed and armored, which, as you can imagine, was a little intimidating and not great for calm, rational debate. And the best part? The law has never been repealed. It is still technically in effect today. So if you happen to be a modern-day knight or a historical reenactor, and you want to go watch a session of Prime Minister's questions, you have to leave your chainmail, your helmet, and your gauntlets at home. It's a business casual dress code, not battle ready. And that's our list. Can you believe those? From needing a permit for your next life to getting fined for frowning, the world is just packed with unbelievable laws. It just goes to show you that no matter where you go, there's always some quirky, bizarre rule that makes you stop and say, wait, what? It's a good reminder that history, culture, and sometimes just a really annoyed politician can lead to some truly strange legislation. I feel like I need to check my own local laws now to see if it's illegal to wear two different socks or something. These weird facts are what make exploring the world so much fun. It's not just about the sights you see, but the crazy stories you learn along the way. Which law did you find the most shocking? Drop it in the comments below. And don't forget the most important rule of all on this channel. If you enjoyed these strange laws, hit that like button and subscribe for more unbelievable facts every week. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.